And we are
You
recording.
can see my screen, right? Is it
Yeah.
my screen's up and showing?
Absolutely. Cool. All right. Welcome everyone tonight. As you can probably tell, I'm pretty stoked to be here and sharing this with you tonight. Just a little bit of background with me. I've been in the health and wellness industry for over 20 years, and 10 years as a personal trainer. I was totally burnt out. Okay. So I was burnt out through 10 years in the personal training industry, and I suffered from adrenal fatigue. Now, I went to the doctors, and because I thought I was dying, and they came back and told me that I was normal. Although walking out of that doctor's office, as I burst into tears, I felt I certainly wasn't normal. I was the psycho lady from hell. I was tired, grumpy. I was putting on weight, 10 kgs I put on, and I literally couldn't walk around the block. And I was in the fitness industry. I couldn't walk around the block without huffing and puffing. I was having heart palpitations, and my emotional state was pretty low. So it took me 2 years to heal myself. I had to put all those pieces of the puzzle together, and from there, I healed myself. I achieved overall good health, and basically I lost all that weight. And I thought, crikey, if I was in the health and wellness industry and I felt so bad, how did other PTs, female PTs, you manage their menopausal symptoms or their hormonal issues going through menopause? So what I did was I put together an online course, and I registered that in 5 different countries around the world, 7 different fitness organizations, and I educated over 1,200 PTs on menopause and fitness. And since then, I have educated over a couple of hundred ladies, not educated, but coached a couple of hundred ladies back to overall good health since then. So that's me in a bit of a nutshell. But tonight, pretty excited to have Paul here on board with me, and I've partnered with him because he is going to share with you guys this amazing system that is going to allow you people on here tonight to build your own online menopause business, really. Now, Paul here is an absolute amazing guy. Look, I love him to pieces. Not only is he tall, dark, and handsome, but he fits the bill as far as amazing goes. Now, he's been in the industry for 20 years, the sales and marketing industry, way back in 1997, Paul. And with this program,
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah. So with the system that we're about to show you tonight, that's just going to blow you away. His program has actually produced over 7,000 international coaching sessions. Would that be right, Paul? Is that how you say it? Yeah, over 7,000, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. You got it.
Yeah, and so what happened, this is the amazing part, he actually saved his relationship with his son by teaching him sales and marketing. That just says it all in itself. So, he's worked with people, with like Tamika Hilda. He's an amazing guy. He's the accolades as long as his arms. So I'd like to introduce to you Paul Newson, and he's going to run through what we have to show you tonight, and I'm pretty stoked. Thanks, Paul. Take it away.
Yeah, thanks. I'm stoked too. I love that word. I'm glad you used it. I thought I was the only person on the planet that used the word stoked, except for the hippie surfers.
Oh, yeah, no. Stoked is one of my favorite words.
Oh, great. Fantastic. That's cool as. Yeah, look, hey, thank you so much for the wind up. I'm trying to keep myself from looking flushed in the face. But yeah, everything Lynn says is true, and I feel just as honored to be working with Lynn. And it's true, I did save my relationship with my teenage son by teaching him sales and marketing. It was an incredible story, which I won't go into tonight, but it has become my passion. And we are really excited tonight to share with you how you all can thrive in the menopause market without ever having to actually show up at the gym. Sounds weird, I totally get that, but that's what we're going to be showing you here tonight. And in fact, our insane menopause program that we have is currently bringing in over 100 brand new 40 plus women every single week. And that's only coming in because that's all we can handle. We can't deal with any more than that right now, which is why we're sharing this stuff with you. But better than that, we're going to show you how you can ethically copy what we're doing seriously in less than 10 minutes. Now, we're going to show you some really high-end stuff, and I want you guys to make me a promise, and that is that you don't use what we're going to show you for evil, no little Dr. Evils, okay? So if we give you the best skills that are okay with you, if you take them and you use them in the best way, That'd be fair enough? I hope so. I know you're kind of going, yeah, of course, we won't be sneaky with these tricks. So that is cool, because we are going to give you some pretty behind the scenes tricks into how we've done this and how you can all replicate this stuff for yourself. So look, a couple of goals for tonight. The first one is to help two types of people. We haven't met all of you yet, but if you're a beginner, then my goal for you is that at the end of tonight's webinar, you're going to have a really clear understanding about how you can leave the back of this webinar and know exactly what it is that you need to do. Whether you're ready to implement it or not, that's up to you. However, if you're more advanced, we're going to give you the skills that are going to slot in. Now, maybe you've been going to different webinars before. Maybe you've tried different mentors before. Maybe you've tried going online before. What I know for sure is that if you're still here, you're obviously trying to find a way to make this whole thing work. You want to grow your business. If you're more advanced, what I can promise you for sure is you will know exactly what you need to do to make this whole system work. Sounds good? Sound all right? Awesome. So now, personally, my goal from this webinar, this is what I really want to make sure that you get, is that at the end of this, that you realize that the only way to bring in 100 clients a week is by doing the complete opposite of what you're doing right now. Okay, so think about that. If you're a personal trainer and you're working in a gym, or you're working from a home gym, or you're doing, the external sessions, I'm guessing, if I'm right, you probably couldn't handle 100 clients a week. Like you wouldn't know what to do with them, right? So I want you to get from this, and this is why my goal with you is to show you that the only way to do that is to do the opposite of what you're doing. But I also want to make sure that you get this at the end of the webinar, that you can do this in less than 10 minutes a day. I know it sounds wacky and it sounds cool, but can you imagine that? Can you imagine serving like 100 clients in a week in less than 10 minutes? Sounds good? Sounds exciting? I bet it does. Now, we want to make sure that you guys stay to the end. I know webinars, they are a dime a dozen these days. So we had to think about what can we give a trainer that's going to keep them around to the end so they can see the whole thing. And we are going to give you, I tell you what, I had to really twist Lynn's arm to get this to be a giveaway, because right now in our menopause program, we have this one little thing. It's called a lead magnet. It's an ebook, and we promote it on social media. And it is so hot right now, it is insane, that we promote this book, and this is what's bringing in 100 leads a week. In fact, this has gone up since I wrote this. It's now close to about 180, 120. And it costs us about 79 cents to have somebody knocking on our door. So what we're going to give you guys this evening at the end of the webinar is we're going to give you this lead magnet, which means you can use that for your own business. Whether you do anything with us ever again or not, we're going to give you this. You can download it, you can use it straight away, and you can start advertising this to menopausal women, and they're going to start asking you for this lead magnet too. Is that cool? Is that cool that you're going to get that? I'd be excited. Like, I am excited to give it to you. And I know Lynn's recovered. She's kind of getting the idea that it's a cool thing to give away. So it's going to be massive. Now, I know that you guys are busy. You're probably tired. You've probably got kids, all these kind of things. And I know that life can get busy. But of all the webinars that you've ever been to, this is the one to stick around for. So make sure that your Facebook is off, the phone's down, the emails are shut down. You've got to sign the door that says do not disturb, because I'm promising you this is the one that you want to catch. This is the webinar. This is the one that you've been waiting for, that's going to show you how to grow your business. So you can tell we're excited. I hope that you're excited. I can't see you, but this is the one that you've been waiting for. So make sure that you're not distracted or disturbed. As Lynn said, my name is Paul. I've done so many cool things in my life I'm so happy with. I've toured around Australia. I've done seminars all around the country. I've done anxiety and depression talks in high schools. I've helped small mums in business grow their business, and worked with another company called Mike Dowsett from Engineer Your Business, which is a systems-based business growth company. And as Lynn said, the very first book I ever wrote, the first program I ever did, went on to create over 7,000 worldwide online coaching sessions from the first book. There's my awesome son. You can see that there at, it was a music festival. I can't think what it was, but it was cool. Soundwave, there you go. And Lynn Miller, you guys already know Lynn as far as I'm aware. Lynn is amazing. She's incredible. She really is the go-to person when it comes to menopause in Australia. Accreditations that are fantastic, personal training, fitness, NLP, all these cool things that she's done. She's created the hormone enhancement program, had amazing results, and we really are excited to share with you what we've come up collaboratively together. It is really cool, really fantastic. And I know that if you wanted to work with somebody, you want to work with people that know what they're doing. I don't know much about menopause. I'll put my hand up for that. But Lynn is fantastic at that, and she's the one to nestle under. As you can see, she's got a great sense of humor. One of my favorite pictures of Lynn is this one in the bottom right there. Mirror, mirror, shining glass, please tell me that's not my ass. And that sums up Lynn in a nutshell. A great sense of humor and a fantastic coach for women all around the planet. So look, before we get started, I'm going to jump right in. A quick little results disclaimer for you, and that is I want you to understand that at the end of this webinar, you're not going to have 100 leads. It will take a bit of time, right? There's a process where you put this stuff in, and then as you kind of work it out, it begins to build up and gain momentum. You know, when I first started this sort of online coaching thing for my coaching business, all I really wanted to do was just cover a few bills. But most importantly, and I know a lot of trainers that relate to this, is that you get really good at what you do. You're a great trainer, you're a great coach, and the last thing you want to do is kind of run out of people to see, to the point where you got to kind of hang up the hooks because you can't really build a business and you got to go and get a job. And that's where this really started for me and Lynn. And I remember having this idea. I thought, how could I turn this into a six-figure, business? And I thought, well, if I could make $273 a day, or just 2 or 3 clients, and do that every single day, then I'd be able to earn 6 figures. And by breaking it down, I thought, okay, how can we make this kind of thing work? So as we began to implement that, we kind of grew, and we're now serving 40 plus clients in over 5 countries globally and remotely. And each client is paying us between $97 and $1,200 to do these things. But what I really want you to get is that we are going to show you how to do this for yourself. I'm not kidding you. I know you're excited, but at the end of this, you're going to know exactly what to do and to go and build a business. So isn't that cool? I just want you to understand that it does take a little bit of time to put it in and to grow it. So that's my little disclaimer. I don't want you thinking that you're going to finish here and you're going to open up your email and you've got 100 leads. Nothing good is that easy. So let me kick into it. Like I said, the program that I've run, I also put into place for Tamika Hilda with the Path of the Goddess. Not sure of those of you that don't know her or not. If not, Google her. She is fantastic. She is one of the most successful coaches here in Australia, and really changing the way women think and feel about themselves. And this exact system that we're sharing with you, we've actually helped Tamika put into her Path of the Goddess program as well. So here are the 3 secrets that we're going to take you through. The first secret is how to ethically copy a $100,000 marketing system in less than 10 minutes. Now that's even if you've never done anything like this before. So think about that for a second, like $100,000 marketing system. Imagine paying somebody for your business $100,000 a year, but then being able to copy it in 10 minutes and just run with it. That's the first thing we're going to show you. Second thing is we're going to show you how to find more clients than you ever dreamed possible, but for less than $100. Sounds good? And then number 3, we're going to show you how to get somebody else to train those clients while you get to keep the profit. Sounds insane, right? Totally sounds insane. I told you that we're going to show you how to do this by doing the complete opposite of what you're doing. So this is out of the box, but this works. I hope you're ready, because I'm ridiculously excited and I've got to keep my speech down. Otherwise, I'm going to go way over time and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go as fast as I can. So first number secret is how to ethically copy a $100,000 marketing system in less than 10 minutes. Now, I can remember when I first wanted to create an online marketing system, I thought, geez, where do I start? Like, I had no idea what I needed to do. Like, I had absolutely no clue. And as I was thinking about it, I don't know if you ever get these little ideas or these epiphanies that jump into your head. And I remember thinking about this movie that's back from the 80s. Maybe you've seen it. It's called The Karate Kid. They've got a version that they did, I think, maybe 5-6 years ago with Will Smith's son. But I mean the original one where you had, I think his name's Ralph Macchio, I could never say his name. I was his biggest fan as a kid. I tell you what, I was practicing my moves in the classroom. And if you haven't seen the movie, the basic storyline is Ralph's character, Daniel, lives with a single mum in this awful part of America. They get in the car, they drive to California, this whole new life. They move into this hotel kind of motel apartment block. He goes to this whole new school. He knows nobody. The only friend he makes, of course, in a true American movie, right, is the prettiest girl in school. And she just happens to be dating the biggest bully in school. and all of his mates are all bullies and they're all karate experts. And long story short, Daniel continually keeps getting beaten up just because he's strange and he's different, right? And one day the caretaker, Mr. Miyagi, finds him lying in the ground after being beat up by 5 guys. And Daniel kind of wakes up on the ground all hazy-eyed and sees this, karate master in the midst, picks up Daniel, takes him to, gets him rested, and he wakes up and he's like, who was the guy that saved me? And he learns it was Mr. Miyagi. Now, the moral of the story is Mr. Miyagi teaches Daniel karate, but he doesn't teach him in, years and years and years of karate and dojos and those big suits with the black belts. He teaches him some basic moves in a very short amount of time. Daniel learns by application and by following somebody who knows what they're doing, and goes on to win a karate contest. Totally American, totally cheesy, right? I hope I just didn't spoil it for you, but it's a cool movie. It's a great story. And when I saw that, I realized that I didn't have to go and reinvent the wheel, and neither do you. You just have to find what's working and then go and model it. And Tony Robbins does this the best. He says, if you want to achieve success, all you need to do is to go and find a way to model the people that have already gone before you and who are already successful, because they've already carved the way. It makes sense, right? As a trainer, there are some really successful trainers out there. If you just went and learned what they did and followed what they did and did what they do, your business would just change in a completely different direction. So it was that idea that kind of really spurred me on. And when it came to doing what we did and looking for trainers, what we knew is this is not just in the training industry, it's in the majority of industries across the planet, is that 95% of people in any field, they follow the same 95% of people, a little bit like lemmings. So everyone kind of stands around and says, such and such is doing this and such is doing that, so I'm going to try this and I'm going to try that. And everyone keeps trying different things and nothing really works. So we know that that's not the best way to do things. In fact, what we know for sure is that you guys as trainers are amazing at what you do. The amount of study that you know about the human body and movement and diet and all these different things is incredible. It's why we come to a trainer, because you understand the human body, and that's what makes you so special and so unique. However, when we did our research and we had a look at the education that trainers get, they get education on what we call the technician side of training. In other words, you're trained to be a trainer. And when it comes to say things like business training or sales training or marketing training, it's like less than 1% of your overall curriculum. There might be a small part there that's covered, but it's not much. So when you guys head out and go into the business world, you haven't been trained in how to grow a business. And so therefore we find a lot of trainers that are really struggling. So when we thought about what a trainer's doing that doesn't work, it was the same thing for me. And I've never bought into this kind of networking thing that so many people try, where you see trainers, they kind of spray all over Facebook. You know what I mean? Like you got friends, right, that go, hey, I'm a trainer, come and book me in for a free session, or you need to try this nutrition and book me in for a free session. And it's just kind of spamming Facebook all the time. Or someone's told you to pick up the phone and make all these cold calls, right? That doesn't really work either. And it's the same with networking events. The amount of networking people that I meet, they go to the same networking events, but it's the same people all the time. And so no one's really having any huge wins, in networking events. And of course, there's the classic trainer where you're walking around in the gym that you're contracted to, lurking, trying to find that next customer to jump on and try and give them a free session and enroll them. So we thought about this, like, well, this stuff doesn't work, right? I mean, and if you're a trainer, you'd know it. Like, you might get a client or 2, 3 or 10, but when you think about going huge and becoming super successful, this just doesn't work. It's just not the way to do it. So we thought about, well, if we were going to model what works, if we could give you guys something that works, that's easy to follow, simple, what would it be, and who would we need to replicate and duplicate? So we went online and began to research what some of the world's best were doing that we could bring back and apply to personal trainers, right? So the first thing we looked at Tony Robbins, not a personal trainer, you understand that, I'm sure, but a very good trainer nonetheless, world's greatest life coach. Michelle Bridges, You would all know who she is, I have no doubt. Even we have people here on England. Not sure if you've seen Michelle in England. I haven't been to England recently, but Google her. She's very, very famous, very, very successful trainer here in Australia. And also Thomas DeLuer, who is totally dominating social media with his ketogenic diets, trainer to the stars, all these cool accolades. So we thought, well, what is it that these three are doing? Because we don't see Michelle Bridges going to networking events, right? Or at least not your typical networking event. She might rock up to one with 1,000 people and she's the key speaker. Same thing with Thomas DeLuer, right? He's got this system, and same with Tony Robbins. They all use exactly the same system. So if you haven't got a pen and paper handy, like right now, like now would be the time to grab one, because you want to get this down, right? You're wanting to learn this stuff. So this is what they do. So they do something, they build what's called an online sales funnel. Now this might sound like gobbledygook to start with, but stick with this, because you're going to get it by the end of tonight. We're going to just show you how this works with what you're already doing. It's just on a different format. So when it comes to a sales funnel, the real question is, what is a sales funnel? And it's a really basic system. Sales funnel is nothing more than a step-by-step system that converts a prospect or a non-buyer into an actual buyer or a client. And it's done by going through a pathway, which you've probably all heard somewhere before. It's called the know, like, trust, and buy system. In other words, before anybody's going to buy from you, they're in the green, they need to know who you are. Nobody buys from a complete stranger, or very few people do. But once they know you, they've got to make the decision, well, do I like you? And then do I trust you enough to give you my money? So a sales funnel is a system to take people down that journey so that at the end of the day, they know you, they like you, they now trust you, and now they're ready to buy from you. And that's what a sales funnel is. And you all do it anyway, right? It's not an online thing, it's a sales thing. Do you know what I mean? So if you're a trainer, you say, hey, I'm giving a free session away. So that gives somebody the chance to come and get to know you. Then they decide whether they like you. In that free session, they learn to either trust you or not. And if they trust you, you gave great value and they like you, then they're going to buy more sessions, right? That's a sales funnel. And it's the most common one that personal trainers do, is like, come have a free session. So knowing that you guys are already doing it, the question is, how do we put that online to make it exciting and make it bigger? Because online you can reach as many people as you can possibly imagine. So we thought about modeling what works. Now I've picked this one here, one, because you're all trainers, and two, if you're going to train and you're going to move and grow online to attract customers, then I thought this would be the best example. Now this is an example of a very, very successful lady. She lives in New Zealand. Had the pleasure of chatting with her a few times. And she specializes in teaching people how to market on Facebook. But more importantly, she teaches marketers how to market on Facebook. So you can imagine, for me, I saw this ad in my news feed on Facebook and I thought, that's amazing. And I don't know if you can see this as clearly as I can, but she says free course valued at $297, plus watch her build a Facebook campaign. I was like, that looks amazing. I'm in. I want to know how she does that. So it was an incredibly cool free offer, like a free coaching session, free training session. It was something for free where I had the chance to move down that next sequence of events to figure out what she's doing, right? So I saw that. Now, a lot of you will already have, what do you call them? Mental blank there. Internet pages, web pages, there you go, web pages. And websites, that's the word I was looking for, right? So I clicked on this offer. It took me to a really simple page that said free Facebook ads course, plus watch me build this. And it had these little check boxes which were just recapping what I was going to get for free. And all I had to do was click on this one button that said access the free course. I was like, okay. So I clicked on the free course, and then it said check your email for the free stuff. In the meantime, join my group. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I get to go and hang out with other cool people. Really simple steps. We're up to 3 steps at this stage. So I did that. I went to my email address and bang, there it was straight away, just like a free session. It's kind of like, I've walked into your gym right now to get my free session. All I need to do here is register, which is a simple little process. And then bang, here was my free stuff. I get to meet Kat. I get to hang out with her. She's got these cool videos. She takes me through all this stuff around Facebook, which is free. I was like, wow, this is really helpful. This is the best thing ever. Now I know who she is. I like her. She's kooky. She uses the word crap a lot. Like, she's real. And I was like, cool. And then the key comes. It's like when you guys offer personal sessions. So did Kat. She had this upgrade button, which we call the upsell, and that's what makes up this online sales funnel. And I was like, cool. So I clicked on it. It was awesome value. And I was like, wow, that is the coolest thing. So there was this simple little 5-step process that Kat does. And I thought, well, all we need to do is just replicate it. But what was really cool is that it's not just Facebook. This exists everywhere. It's in pretty much every possible industry you can imagine. And I bet you can imagine some wacky industries, right? So think about, we saw them in internet marketing. We saw Tony Robbins does his book. He would sell his books, exactly the same process, 5 steps. We've seen online nutrition programs. We've seen network marketers use the same system. I saw a guy sell 500 copies of how to make the best hot dog book. Like, can you imagine a guy selling how to make hot dogs, and he sold 500 copies of his book in 48 hours using this exact same thing, right? Mental health, pet care, weight loss. So just think about for a second, what is it that you're specializing in right now? Like, where does your niche fit with your training? I promise you can do the same thing within your own niche. Addictions, weight gain, muscle gain, energy, you name it. The system works across the board, right? So all we had to do for our menopause program was just bring in the same simple process, which was give an insane free giveaway, which we've already showed you. And you guys are going to get that at the end of the night. Isn't that cool? You guys can use the same one. You can use it. You can bring people to your webpage straight away. A simple registration page, little email that went out, free access, and then there was the little process to upsell. So can you imagine, like, if you're giving away a free book that says how to lose weight in menopause, like, doesn't that just make sense that menopausal women want that? That's why it goes crazy, because they want it. It's free. So when they get it, all you have to do is contact them and say, hey, check out this other cool free stuff, right? Easy, crazy stuff. So that is what goes through. So I hope you guys kind of caught just how simple that is. 5 little steps, something for free, and then move them through that little sales funnel process that we've talked about. And like I said, this is not just Tony Robbins. It's not just Michelle Bridges. It's not just Thomas DeLua. I promise you, if you think about all the people that you admire, that you kind of follow online, ones that are successful, they all do the same thing. It's called sales funnels. So that is super cool, super, super easy. So I want to share with you before we go through, and just imagine, like, seriously, how many more customers do you think you could reach with that little free ebook that we've got, targeting the rest of the planet? Like, it goes nuts. You guys getting it? It's awesome. So here's the second secret, and that's how to find more clients than you ever dreamed possible for less than $100. And again, get that pen ready, because we're going to show you some really cool stuff in this one. In fact, I'm going to show you how we actually build a Facebook campaign, so you guys can learn this and do it for yourself. So first things first is, we already kind of looked at what's not working, right? We realize that this doesn't work. If you're a trainer, you're here, I know that you know this, right? It does work to a little bit, but it's not huge. It's not a game changer. So we have to think about, well, what's the difference? How do we find these clients, and why can't we find them? And this is the coolest little thing. I'm going to share with you this little piece of human anatomy. And this is one of those things that totally blew my mind when I came across this. And I've put it into every single one of my personal development programs that we run. In fact, it's even in the menopausal mindset program that we do for menopausal clients. And it's called a reticular activating system. Some of you may have already heard of this. For some of you are thinking, a reticular what? It's called a reticular activating system, and it's a part of the human brain. It's just tucked up there under all these little other things I won't even pretend to know what they're called. But it is this part of the brain that is responsible for repeat recognition. Make sense? So I'll say it again. It's responsible for repeat recognition. So I'll tell you how I found this stuff. I was reading this really cool book called E Squared. If you haven't read this book, you've got to go and get it. It's by Pam Grout, and the book's called E Squared. And what the title underneath this says, it says 9 experiments to prove that you create your own reality. I thought, wow, that's a pretty big claim. Like, I'm all into creating the reality that I'm wanting to do. I want to be really successful. I want to have great relationships. I want to travel the world. I want a great business. If I'm responsible for my reality, you're going to give me some experiments to prove that I'm creating my reality. I'm all in, right? So I got the book. Write it down. You've got to listen to it if you haven't got it already. It's fantastic. So this is the book, right? Now, in the book, she was talking about reticular activating systems. And one of the experiments that she said, I want you to think about the car that you want the most. And I thought, okay, I'm not a huge car guy, but there was a car that I wanted at the time. And this is what it was. It was a X5 BMW. And I wanted it to be just like this one. So she said, in your mind, just keep building the image over an image in your brain. Now, I know that you will all get this, right? Because, I mean, think about this. Have you ever bought a car for yourself? Or if you're a walker, you own a car, have you ever spotted a car that you love? And the funny thing is, once you get the car or you think about the car, don't you notice that you keep seeing it everywhere? Doesn't it just keep showing up? Do you know what I mean? Like, it just keeps showing up and showing up and showing up. It's like, oh my God, there's cars everywhere. I thought it was just a special car, a cool car. Now they're everywhere. Like, for me at the moment, all I keep seeing is Ford Mustangs. They're all over the place. I've never seen so many Mustangs in my life. This was the car that I wanted. And as soon as I started to put it in my awareness, I started to notice it, right? And then when I kind of took steps to go and buy the car, there was even more of them. And then when I bought the car, I finally got the car. It's like every 5th car on the road was a BMW X5, right? So this is what the part of our brain does, which is called a reticular activating system. It recognizes repeat occurrences. Now, the crazy thing is that we train it at a conscious and an unconscious level. So we notice things like cars, but we don't consciously do it. We notice things like clothing. If you're kind of more I can never get this word out, numerological based, right? You'll notice numbers repeating all the time. Like, I keep seeing 111, 222, 333. I got no idea what this means. My friends that are into astrology say it's good, so I'll take that. But I keep seeing repeating numbers, right? Things like coincidences. Forgive the spelling. I'm not the world's best speller. So a coincidence. Do you keep recognizing coincidences? And other people just don't, right? So that's because your reticular activating system is trained to notice the same things. And most of the things that we're noticing, we have no idea why until now. This is the machinery between the ears that notices these things. What a lot of people keep noticing is way deeper, and they keep noticing things like, oh, I always get disappointed, or I always get let down, or my business never works. Are you getting this? Are you getting how powerful this little thing is, right? Other people go, I always find opportunities. I always see opportunities to win. I always keep winning. I always grow. I keep seeing growth. I keep seeing happiness. I keep seeing love. Others go, I keep seeing hate. I keep seeing angry people. It's because it's what's been trained up here, right? So that's the reticular activating system. It is the coolest thing ever when you get it and you know it's there. This is why it's such a huge big deal in the programs that we run, because we train people's reticular activating system at an unconscious level to start noticing different things. Change your life, change your reality. So that is a huge big thing, right? Now, here's the deal with the majority of personal trainers' reticular activating systems. They think, I'm just getting my stopwatch here to make sure I don't go over time. They think and they focus on the same things, which is essentially, I'm a local business. I have a local business reach. I serve clients who are interested in getting fit or losing weight or whatever within a 20 to 30K radius. That's what an average trainer's reticular activating system is focused on. Not to mention, it's hard to find new clients. It's hard to keep clients. These are the things that the trainers think about. And if you're a trainer, it's true, right? Like you get it. Like you know how you're feeling about your business growth right now. So whatever you're seeing with your business growth is a direct result of what it is that your reticular activating system is focused on. So here's the crazy thing is that we know gyms these days are more popular than ever. They're closer than 20 to 30 Ks unless you live in the bush. They're really close together. So this is the thinking. Now, here's where this gets really interesting because your thinking, right, your reticular activating system is going straight towards, I'm going to help people get fit. I'm going to help them lose weight. I'm going to help them feel better. They're going to sleep better. We're going to lower stress. All these things is what we call it a RAS. Your RAS is focused on. Here is why it's so hard, almost impossible to bring in a completely different demographic. So first thing is, here is a very low age range, according to Fitness Australia, of people who come to the gyms. It's a no-brainer. They've got no money. They're still at home. You get very few 15 to 17-year-olds who come to the gym, right? That's not a breakthrough in understanding. The biggest performing bracket is 18 to 34-year-olds, right? They're the ones that are still very highly invested in image, in fitness. It's the big thing right now. Communities, my body's still functioning. I want to look hot, all these kind of cool things. That's the biggest one that we see going to the gyms around Australia. And I'm sure, I've got no doubt it's the same worldwide. Here's where it gets nuts. Here is the world's largest under-participation in fitness. It's older Australians. It's those that are 35 and over, right? They're currently not participating in fitness activities. And there's a really good reason for this. What it says on the bottom, you can see this, but it says that fitness professionals, based on the health needs and constraints of older people, recruiting more older fitness professionals into the industry to help other people feel understood. So this is a key thing, and I want you just to think about being understood, because this is where this is going to be the game changer for you when you get this, right? So you're all focused on lose weight, get fit, build muscle, feel better, whatever it is that you specialize in. I know you're all probably slightly different, but you have this focus, right? So here's the focus. Yes, we're talking about menopausal women. This is the ones that aren't coming to the gym. So the question is, why aren't they coming? Why aren't they coming to the gym? Because from what I've noticed from Lynn, is they're the ones that need to come the most, because they're, the bodies are changing, everything's kind of going haywire. So here's the deal. First thing is, how many can you handle? Because this is the stats, and these stats are old. So in 2005, which is 12 years ago, there was 477 million women going through menopause. And by the year 2025, 1.1 billion women. Now, these are the women that aren't coming to the gym. Most of them. Obviously, you've probably got some clients in that bracket that are, but as a majority, they're not coming. So we estimate there's around about 800 million menopausal women or past menopause women right now that aren't coming to see you. They're just not coming. So the question is why? And how do you get them? Because it's a huge market and there's a need, they just don't know it. So we have to look at, well, what's the menopausal women's reticular activating system looking for? Because they're not looking for the solution, right? They can't see you. Their eyes can see you, you know what I mean? Like, they can see you, but it doesn't register. It doesn't register because they're not looking for the solution. They're not. This is what they're looking for. They're looking at, oh my God, look how big I am. Oh my God, I just don't think I could go to the, I just don't feel so good about myself right now. This is what the reticular activating system's focusing on. Do you get that? Can you see how that works? Like, it's totally focusing on the problem, not the solution. So they're thinking about their fears, their doubts, the questions they ask are like, what's wrong with me, right? This is the stuff that when I sat down with Lynn and said, Lynn, what's going on upstairs with the menopausal women? She said, this is what goes on. She's like, they're thinking that my husband hates me. He's not attracted to me anymore. He's going to go and find someone younger. So the reticular activating system is so far removed from thinking about coming to your gym and speaking with you, that just doesn't even happen. They are focused on why things don't work, and you're providing a solution on why things should work. So there's this, I don't know if you guys can see my video here, but there's a big mismatch. It's like, woohoo, massive, massive mismatch. So they're focusing on the problem and you've got the solution. So it's totally like, it's just not working. And Tony Robbins, again, he says that successful people spend 10% of their time on problems and 90% of their time on the solutions, right? So your menopausal, not yet to soon to be clients, they're not even thinking about the solution. And that's why they're not coming. They're just not coming. They don't want to come. Interestingly, I said to Lynn, what's the real reason they're not coming? And she says, they don't want to see Svetlana. The idea of confronting somebody like Svetlana here on the right-hand side is just so confronting that the idea of going to a gym actually represents the biggest fear, more so than the solution. And this is why they're not coming. And this is why we've got to get trainers to understand this and then actually kind of go under the radar and look at their reticular activating system and give them something to bring them in slowly through a sales funnel. Are you getting this? Can you see this? You've got to show them the problem first and then bring them through gradually, right? Makes sense? So the funny thing is that when you guys walk out with the personal training card that says, hey, that's right, I'm a trainer, more often than not, you're probably getting looks like this from menopausal women. It's like, who's on first? What's on? What do you mean? What do you mean you're a trainer? I don't even care. I don't understand. I'm not going. No, thank you. I couldn't possibly go because, well, look at me. I couldn't go to the gym. Does this make sense? So I know it sounds kind of funny and simple, but this is the real reason why they're not coming. So the real click here, the real trick is to get inside of their heads before they get to the gym so that you can bring them there. And Steve Jobs said this the best. He's like, you've got to get closer than ever to your customers. So close, in fact, that you tell them what they need before they realize it in themselves. And this is why we have this reticular activating system embedded in all of our coaching programs. We teach our clients what to focus on, which is the cure. They just don't know that as we're teaching it, and that's why we get such great results. So isn't that cool? Like, it sounds so simple, right? But that's what makes this whole system work, is understanding people and how psychology works and why reticular activating systems sabotage everything. So isn't that cool? So I'm going to share with you real quickly that the secret formula to getting more clients than you can imagine starts off with, number one is, who are they? Well, we're getting pretty clear that's a menopausal client. The second one is, well, where are they? Well, we know that they're not in the gym. That's what we know for sure. The majority aren't in the gym. So we've got to go find them. And I think this is the coolest little analogy ever. We call it the bait. Now, the bait is, what are you going to use to bring them in? So you guys offer free sessions, right? But their reticular activating system says, I'm not interested in a free session. I don't even want to go to the gym. I'm going to see Svetlana. I'm not even coming. So we've got to find something better to give them to come. Make sense? That's the bait. And then the question is, well, once we've got the bait and a menopausal client says, okay, wow, now I'm interested. I'm beginning to think differently with my reticular activating system. Then the question is, well, where do you go from there, right? That's the secret formula. So what I'm going to do for you all now is, like, you've seen the bait that we use, and this is the bait we're going to give you to use at the end of the webinar. You can use this for yourself. The question is, how do we go find them? How do we do it? And then where do we take them next? Where do you want to take them next? Because that's going to be the key. It's one thing to give them bait. You can go fishing and chuck some bait in the water, but unless you've got a boat to pull them in, or at least something to somewhere to take them, you're just going to be throwing the bait away for free. Make sense? Yeah. So cool. Let me just show you quickly. We put this together for you. I'm going to show this. I've pre-recorded this just to avoid any possible technology glitches, which I know you're going to appreciate. So pay attention. If you've got that pen out, get the pen ready, because if you've ever tried Facebook ads and it hasn't worked, we're going to give you a really cool glimpse here into how this stuff works. So I'm going to push play. Let me just put the speaker on so that you can hear it. And where are we? Here we go. Cool. Make sure it's on. Sounding good. Coolio. So I'm going to show you guys just relatively quick and easy how to build a really simple Facebook campaign. I'm not going to spend heaps of time on this because this webinar is not about how to build an online campaign with Facebook, but I'll show you relatively how easy it is to use. It's not that hard. All it takes is a bit of training and maybe just a little bit of advice on how to do it properly. But you'll see the idea. What I really want you to see is just how big the market is. That's really what the point of this is. So I'm going to click here on Create Campaign. And this is obviously, you need a business page to do this. So I'll just start this one over again and head into it. So what I want to do is I want to send people from Facebook to my webpage so that they can get my free offer, right? The free book. So I'm going to click on traffic. I want to go there. I'm going to call the campaign test just so that I know what I'm doing. And the process begins. Now up here, it's asking me what I want to call my ad sets. Now ad sets, for those of you that are absolute beginners in Facebook marketing, is basically just Facebook's way of saying who's the demographic I'm targeting. So I'm going to be going for 40 plus females. And I can add to that later on as I get more and more specific, but I'll keep it like that for now just to show you. You can see how big the audience is on Facebook. It's pretty big. That's obviously just in Australia. So as I come down here, you can see here it's got locations. Now, I don't want to market to all of Australia. I want to bring that down just to somewhere a little bit more local. And the reason for that is, one, if you do have a gym and you're going to be bringing people to your gym eventually after you give them a really cool offer and they get to know you, then you want them to be able to walk towards you. Secondly, if I was going to fund a marketing campaign to cover 16 million people, it would cost me bucket loads. So I want to bring this down so it's a little bit more niche and a little bit more specific to me and my message and to what I'm looking for, and get it to sort of around 10, 20,000 people, somewhere around that. It doesn't have to be exact, but I certainly don't want millions of people. It's just too big, and my advertisement would get completely diluted amongst the whole Facebook system. So first thing is I'm going to pop out of Australia and just get a bit more specific. I'm going to go just to somewhere local. I want to type in Brisbane because that's close to me. Brisbane, Queensland, Australia, but you can obviously do whatever you want. And then a radius of 25 miles, around that. Long way to come to one gym, but I could narrow that down if I wanted to, but we're just going to keep it nice and simple. So you can see here, I've got 2 million people on Facebook that fit that criteria that live in Brisbane. And I'm going to have to keep bringing this down. So I don't want anybody under the age of 40 for this particular one. So let me just change it. 40. Cool. So 40 and over. And clearly men don't go through menopause. So I don't want men seeing my ad. There's no point. It would just be wasting my money. So I'm going to click on to women. And here, look at this. Isn't this cool? So there's 490,000 women within 25 kilometers or 25 miles of Brisbane that are over the age of 40. Now, when I said this is a massive market, are you getting how big it is? Like, are you really beginning to see this? Like, every single woman on the planet goes through menopause. It's not an option. It's not an accessory. It's biology. Are you getting that? So every woman goes through this. And this is the biggest audience. These are the guys that aren't coming to the gym. So we've got to reach them somewhere else. And look how many of them there are. Like, there's stacks and stacks and stacks. So 490,000 women in that area that are 40 plus. Again, that audience is too big for what I want to do. So I'm going to keep bringing that down. And the way I do that is I just come down here and it says detailed targeting. And so what this does is it says that not only will the people that see my ad be in this age bracket, they'll be a woman, but they also must match whatever I type in here. Okay, so let's say that I'm specifically looking for females that are parents. So I would type the word parents in here. Parents, there we go, demographics. And what that says is it says, okay, well, out of all of these people on Facebook that
No sound, Paulie.
Yeah, I just noticed that one. Let me just see what's going on there. That's a bit crazy. Well, I'll keep talking, and because I can remember it. That's a bit weird. This is I thought the recording would save us from this challenge, but anyway. So 40 to 65, it brings the audience, you can see here, to 210,000. And then what we wanted to do is we wanted to narrow it down. So if, say, for example, you're a gym, obviously you're a trainer, and you're a parent, you might want to focus on parents because you can relate to parents better than you can for single women. So by clicking on parents, it brings it down to 210,000. Now, you might want to go, well, you definitely do. You want to go even deeper than that because you're wanting to bring the audience right down. So the way that we do that is we click on this little button here which says narrow audience. Now, when I click on narrow audience, what happens there is that it says that not only am I targeting females only, not only do they have to be above the age of 40, they must also be a parent. And then when I click on the narrow audience button here, it then says they also must meet this next criteria. Now, the criteria that I used in this example was, I said they must be interested in health. That was the next one down. And then that dropped this thing here down to 100,000 people. So you can see it's just getting smaller and smaller and smaller as it goes through. So I still wanted to make it even more niche. And I used a crazy example in this one just for illustrative purposes. And I thought, what is it that we could really narrow this down? So if I've got a parent, I've got a mum, she's interested in health. That's the first thing. What else is she going to be reading? If she's a menopausal woman and she's focused on problems, I reckon we could probably click on the thing like one of those crazy magazines like Women's Day or New Idea or something like that. So I put in New Idea. And the reason I picked New Idea is because they use some pretty crazy headlines. They do a lot of health things in there. They show a lot of things like, insecurities. That's their kind of business model. So I went even further and said narrow audience once more. So I targeted down 3 specific times and we got this audience down to, it was 30,000 people. Now just think about that, 30,000 people, 30,000 women that fit this criteria that only go through, that would be parents that are interested in health and also read New Idea. So can you see how specific that gets? Like 40,000 people is a lot. Like it's a lot of people. It would take you a long time to reach all those people just doing one particular ad online. So can you get this? Like it was 400,000 people just in Brisbane. 400,000 women over the age of 40 just in Brisbane. So I don't know where you're all listening from, but it's huge. Like it's so massive. And there's just no way we can reach all of them on our own. So this is why we're sharing this stuff with you. So it doesn't matter what kind of trainer you are or where you are, it's limitless. All we have to do is get you very focused and targeting on a specific niche, and you pop your lead magnet in front of them. And like we've already showed you, we already have something that they really want. And that's what makes this whole thing work. So it's pretty cool, hey? And it really is that simple. Going through and just working down to that specific little niche is how you get the best results in doing that. And like we said beforehand, this is, once we have the clients with our lead magnet, it then comes to that space of, well, where do we take them? Now, just like we showed you with Kat's campaign with Facebook, this is the one that we do. And you can see there's Lynn. Isn't this the most basic looking web page you've ever seen in your life? It's got a background picture. It's got the picture there of the free ebook, a couple of little headlines, and then you can see there, as I was testing it, I put my own name and stuff in there, and then that's it. I click on it, and I've got myself somebody who's knocking on my door wanting to be contacted. Isn't that easy? Like, are you getting how simple this is? It's not that hard. Like I said, a little bit of practice to get it up and running, but once she goes, she fires. And we've got customers that are getting people straight off the bat in week number 1 with the partnerships that we've created. So I hope that you're getting it. Like, you're seeing this. You can see now why the sales funnels are so important, and you're seeing why we have to really focus on not just your reticular activating system, but thinking about the menopausal woman's reticular activating system to bring those 2 things to line up. That's the key here, and that's why these really are secrets. So this is why this is going so crazy. Now, number 3 is we're going to share with you how to get somebody else to train your clients while you keep the profit, because I know that you're seeing this, right? It's like, you're understanding the psychology of the menopausal woman. You're seeing how the sales funnel works. You already kind of know how that works because you've been a trainer for a while. Right? You're getting it right. So the question is then, well, if you're a trainer, here's the biggest challenge you are going to face. And that is that you will always be trading your time for money, which means that if you come to work, you get paid, assuming you've got clients. If you're sick, you don't get paid. Makes sense? It's called trading time for money. And for you to take that next step where you can get paid while taking the day off, we need to find ways of leveraging your customers so that other people can train them while you can take off the day. And Robert Kiyosaki describes this the best. I don't know if you've heard Robert Kiyosaki. He's probably the most successful entrepreneur on the planet. He says all successful people have one thing in common: leverage. Leverage is the power to earn more and more while working less and less, either by having people or money working for you. That's what leverage is. And as a trainer, you don't have any. I mean, sorry, that's not quite true. Boot camp, right, is the first opportunity at leverage. You have like 10 people or 20 people and just you. That's the first insight where you get to do the work once, but you're getting trained by others. But true leverage is when you have somebody else actually doing the work for you, and then you're getting paid. So that's going to be the real big key. So let me just click on through here, checking the time. We're doing good. So we want to get you to think about, here's the key for you, is to move out of, see where you are right now is you are more than likely, as a trainer, you are what's called self-employed. You may have a salary at your gym, it's unlikely, but you're more than likely down here self-employed. In other words, you own your own job, right? So we want to get you to cross over this little thing here. It's called a cash flow quadrant into this thing called a business owner, where you have a system and people work for you. Does that make sense? So just imagine if you've got other people working for you and training your clients, can you feel the freedom in that? Can you at least get a sniff of what that looks like? Cool. Awesome. So for me, the moment that I realized that I was going to make so much more money outsourcing my clients came in the craziest spot. I'll never forget that was that I was sitting in a cinema, like of all places, right? Sitting there, we're about to watch a movie, and I'm sitting there, and the seats were all empty, and I was just kind of sitting there waiting for the thing to start. And people began to kind of file in, and as I was thinking about it, I thought, I was like, wow, this is kind of really cool. These guys did the work one time, right? The actors put the work in. They filmed everything. They did the work once. They got paid millions of dollars. And here we are showing up, watching it after the fact. Like the actors weren't there. I mean, you know this, right? You've been to the movies. You're watching the past when you watch the movie. The work has already been done. And I was thinking about this, and I thought, wow, that's incredible. Like, you know, the directors, the actors, the screen hands, everything to do with this movie, the work finished ages ago. Like it's done, yet they're still getting paid. And every time somebody came through and sat down in a seat, I was witnessing a sales funnel. Like they'd already gone through the first sales funnel in the cinema, which we all know is the candy store, right? The food shop. That's the first upsell. You walk in, you get your ticket. You've got to walk in. You got to pretty much walk through either the bar or the food shop to get your stuff. That's their upsell. It's already thought about. So I was thinking about this, and I thought, okay, they did the work one time. They've got a global system which works anywhere. The upsell is the snack bar, and this is what really blew my mind was that they'd pre-planned the ending. So they already had thought about where they wanted you and me to, how we were supposed to feel at the end of the movie. So if it was action, we wanted to feel like we've just won. If it was a love story, like our hearts bursting open with love, or if it's a horror, we can barely walk without our back off the wall. They'd planned it so well. They'd preconceived the whole concept that we were kind of already had our own reticular activating systems triggered off to think about love and all that kind of stuff. So that when we left it, we'd go and tell all our friends, and then the whole thing just perpetuates. I thought it was insane. Like I just thought, what an insane business model. And what made me realize was it wasn't just in the one cinema that I was at, but it was happening globally. where you had someone do the work once, but then everybody got to contribute and be part of the whole thing all around the planet at multiple screening times. It was just blowing my mind at how big this whole thing was, right? So I got to thinking about that, and I thought, well, how does this business model work? And I thought, well, you have the studio, right? So the studio puts the money in, the studio does the work, the studio does all the sweat, they get the actors, they cut the deals, they do the filming, they're dealing with all the weather, all that kind of stuff. All the hard work has been done by the studio. So they put the money into it, and then they create these referral partnerships with all the different cinemas. So the cinemas then, they screen the movie, right? They advertise the movie, they do all the upsells, and then the Universal Studios, or whichever studio it was, would take a percentage of what they earned. And I thought, wow, that's insane. That's really clever. And then what I realized also is that, and you guys would see this because you use social media, is that as things are changing, we begun to see the same thing happening now, where the studios are now selling their stuff to the video stores. Well, there's a couple left. Netflix has taken over Stan, YouTube, and now even Facebook is creating, you probably didn't know this yet, but Facebook is creating its own television platform, going head to head with Netflix. So can you get that? Like, there was these referral partnerships, online referral partnerships, that was taking over the way things were done traditionally. Because back in the old days, right, you go to a theater, and you'd watch these people acting out on stage, and they had to be there the whole time, and they had to keep doing it. But these days it was done once, and it was a referral partnership. And that's really what sort of inspired me to take what we were doing online. I could see how that whole thing worked, and I thought it was brilliant. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get to do the work once. Imagine going to work once, and you teach someone to do a bicep curl properly, and then you walk out and you leave, and then every time somebody comes in and does a bicep curl, you get paid a percentage because you taught them how to do the bicep curl. You know what I mean? Like, you get that? Like, that's what I saw in the cinemas. So I thought about that, and I realized that you guys have got it pretty similar, because the gyms that most of you work for have the same type of arrangement, and you all have different ones, but all the bigger gyms, even some of the smaller ones, they all charge you guys to come there to work. Like, you are the main source of their income. So if you've ever thought that the only ones making the money in your field is the actual gyms, you're probably right. Like, seriously, you're probably right, because I would say that for an ordinary gym that's got 15 to 20 trainers, like, the rent's being paid just from what you guys are paying. The rest is all, fun money to some degree. So when we saw that, I thought, okay, well, some of you are paying $300 a week just to be able to come to work and to train there. Some of you a little bit less. Some of you have your own gym, which of course would cost you even more. We've got one client, she has her own gym. It's like I think she said it's about $600 a week just in rent. It's really, really expensive to have your own gym. And but the benefits is obviously, if you're paying $300 a week, you don't need to provide the equipment. It's already there for you, and you just have to get your own clients. And that's how that whole system works, right? So that's really how you guys are already in referral partnerships. So what we wanted to do was to create a system for trainers, which we did, which was nothing like this. It was a referral partnership, but it made it so simple for trainers to do it in a way where they could use everything that we were teaching and really hit the ground running and start to earn a whole bunch more money. So we thought about it this way, and we thought, well, let's go find somebody in women's health that's got a message. They're passionate. They want to help. They want to help women. We have to teach them then how to go and find more customers online. That was what part of our process was. Then we paid the trainers for referring their customers, right? Just like the cinema. We actually gave the money back to the trainers. And then we, just like the cinema would do, is we would teach the customer, we would engage them, inspire them, and then just like the cinema did, we would upsell them into more stuff. And then we would send them back to the trainer with a whole new attitude, mindset, and a new way of living. And so we put together this really cool program called the Hormone Enhancement Program with Lynn. And we did this thing called the Menopause Mindset 30-Day Diet, which is a diet for the mind. And as we put this kind of thing together, we had such incredible success because it was really changing the way menopausal women were thinking about themselves. So in other words, we were conditioning them to think in a completely different way so that we could actually get them to go to the gym. Does that make sense? if you think about what we've already covered, we have to condition them to think about going to the gym. So how do we do that? It's really, really simple, is we address the underlying and undealt with issues that aggravate menopause. So menopause is, like we said in the video, it's not negotiable. If you're a woman and you live past 40, you're going to go through menopause, right? So menopause is normal, as Lynn will tell you, but it's the symptoms that aren't. So if we're going to get rid of the symptoms, we have to address the underlying issues, right? Which is what creates the bitchy and the psycho and all these kind of things, is we deal with the underlying issues. So we already talked about why they're not going to the gym, because they're thinking about their insecurities, their weights, their fears, their doubts, all that kind of stuff. So instead of having them think like this, we simply retrain their reticular activating system over a period of 30 days to focus on what's really important, feeling empowered, setting goals, creating a really compelling future covering things like relationships, finances, and health. That's where we train the RAS to focus on, a complete 180 from like, oh my God, nothing's going to work in my life is ruined, to I want this in my relationships, I want this with my body, I want this in my career. Retrain the reticular activating system, incorporate the different pillars of change, and then had them so inspired that they wanted to take action and do the next steps. And the way that we did that was we created, just like the cinemas, a series of pre-recorded video blogs, which have been done by Lynn, so that they would get to, the participants would actually go through our little sales funnel, they would join, and they would be coached by Australia's best menopause coach, Lynn Miller, and they would go through and do what's called video blogging. And the cool thing was, as Lynn was doing the video blogs, we were getting all these women popping up and doing video blogs back. Now, they don't have to do the video blogs, but the video blogs were what was actually working and creating incredible results. Because what would happen was the women would start to change the way they see themselves. And what we'd created for a menopausal woman was something that is so lacking in the needs of a menopausal woman, and that's something called recognition. Now, people will do so much more for recognition than they will do for anything else. People will do more for recognition than money, than for sex. Recognition is such a huge human need. It's the need to feel significant and important. And when our customers would do a video blog, because it's in a group environment, everybody else would jump on their type and give these cool affirmations that all of a sudden, not only were they getting recognized, but we were creating accountability. So we had these big groups of women coming through, all cheering for each other, the little community. And then the cool thing was that the trainer could actually follow along and keep track with their clients and see how their journey was going. Make sense? So it was creating incredible results, great breakthroughs. And we built this entire system so that at the very end of the 30-day mindset diet, you can see here we had them focusing on their 5-year plan. So after they'd gone through and we got them to take on board things like personal responsibility, you can see here that we did reticular activating system, which I can't find in the header. There we go, day number 14. We taught them about their reticular activating system. We taught them about goal setting. We taught them about health, all these cool things, love languages, you name it, it's all in there. They get to the end, and I'm telling you, they don't want to stop. They're like, oh my God, this has been the best thing ever. I feel so good. I want to know what comes next. What do we have to do? And we started to get things like this coming through hand over fist, where they were saying, thank you so much for your comments, Lynn. I love the way you communicate. I love what you see and hear so clearly. I'm loving this. I'm super keen to do more learning in this area for myself and my clients. Would you recommend NLP training? Would like to continue to work with you after the 30-day. What are my options? So just imagine for a second that your clients are being trained by somebody else. They get to the end and they say, well, what comes next? I'm excited. Can you see we've trained the reticular activating system, we've turned them around, and then we'd send them back to the trainer so the trainer could then have a chat with them and then book them into one-on-one sessions, or if you've already got some online stuff, then you could do that, right? And that's how it works. So our trainers would get this little thing, we call it a sticky link, right? And our trainers would send their clients to just a simple registration page where, get this is the best part, like seriously, $97 is all it would cost to be trained for 30 days by Lynn for a menopausal woman. as the trainer, we wanted to make sure that the trainers were winning. Like, we were in service to the trainers to reach out and help all the people. So we paid the trainers 100%. So when the customer pays $97, we give the whole $97 back to the trainer. Like, isn't that insane? Isn't that mad? Like, we give the trainer everything back because we want the trainer to win, and all the trainer needed to do was to send through 2, 3, 4, 5 of those a week, and it's done. We train them, and then we send them back when they're ready to do the next stuff. So you're getting that kind of leverage there. You give them the lead magnet. We train their reticular activating system. We get them inspired. We give you the whole money up front, and then we send them straight back to you guys for you to enroll them into whatever it is that you wanted to do, right? So that was that cool thing. And then, let me just click on the right button here. You then have the option, or the trainers had the option then to enroll them into gym memberships or into more personal training, into group sessions, advanced trainings, nutritional plans, all those kind of things. And from there on, you can go and kind of build sales networks, right? So that was the way that we leveraged it. And that's where we've been having some amazing success. And the very same system that our trainers use is the exact same system that we used to build the very first program that I did, which was a book called Wake Me Up. Leadership Through Contribution became my first 6-figure coaching system. And it's this exact system. Like, I'm not even joking. This is the exact system that the menopausal clients go through. We just changed the cover. It's the same material. So this is so huge. This is really beginning to get some amazing results in not just clients, but also with the trainers as well. So let me guys ask you a question. We've been through heaps already. Any of you beginning to feel a little bit like this? You're kind of like, oh my God, that was insane. Like, what am I supposed to do with all this, right? You guys have seen Home Alone. It's like, wow, what even happens next? So I thought, let me just kind of ask you guys a question. Is it okay if I share with you a way how we can kind of keep the conversation going? Not tonight, but we can show you a way how you can jump on board with us and begin to work with us and go and help tap into that menopause market. Would that be okay? Okay, awesome. That's cool. Totally cool. So I want to introduce you guys to Menofitness Trainer, and I want to share with you the system that we've put together for personal trainers, specifically for trainers that want to tap into this massive market. Now, you guys have seen this. You guys are getting it right. It is huge. It's absolutely massive. We want to show you guys how to do this with us. That's the key. It's together. So the first thing is that we're going to give you is a Menofitness Trainer 1-year affiliate account, and that is basically the entire coaching system for your clients. That's where your clients go through, you get a sticky link, they register on a really easy registration page, which we've already built for you. We give you 100% of the upfront commission. We then train your customer for you, we inspire them, we deliver the message, and anything that they do over and beyond that, we pay you a 20% commission. If they don't want to move forwards, then we send them straight back to you, and then you guys can put them into your own fitness training programs. Whatever you want to do is totally okay. So that's the first thing. Now that retails at just over $5,000 a year for that, which is still nuts value, right? Like, it's cheaper than what you guys pay your own gyms. And you can see from what we've been through that the customers are limitless. You've got the lead magnet that we're going to give you. All you have to do is send them towards us. We train them and we pay you $97. So all you need really is imagine what 5 of those a week would do for you. Like, we're getting 100 a week. Imagine what just 5 would do for your business and your cash flow. I don't know you personally yet, but what I do know is for most personal trainers, an extra $100 a week is huge, let alone $200, $300, $400, and $500 a week. So that's the first part that we want to give you is your very own affiliate account with us. And to give you an idea of the work that we've done, I mean, this is what Matt's done. So just think about this for a second. Imagine this. Look at this. Matt's helped almost 20,000 people. 20,000 people by working with Lynn. Like, can you imagine that? Imagine that for yourself, being able to work and help 20,000 people. Isn't that just huge? Like, it just totally changes your reticular activating system, right? It's insane. Same thing here. This is Kylie. Now, Kylie went through Lynn's program, and Kylie is a really successful entrepreneur. She calls herself a she entrepreneur, and she was dealing with adrenal fatigue and going through Lynn's program. You can see the stuff here, right? So her adrenal fatigue was just annihilated, if that's even the right word, got absolutely fantastic results and really promotes what we do very, very highly. for ladies dealing with adrenal fatigue. So not even menopause specifically, but adrenal fatigue gave her amazing results. And of course, here's what some of the PTs are saying is that we're working with Lynn. Catherine here in New Zealand actually got a better understanding of how to deal with menopausal clients. And like, as we said to you guys, understanding how their brain works is probably 90% of the battle. So once we've trained them and we send them back to you, you get to watch them. We also teach you how to relate to them. We teach you all the skills that we do. And these are just some of the results that we're getting across the board from customers, clients, and your clients, right? So that's what that thing is. And this is even some more great results we're getting too. So imagine, right? You're not only are you bringing clients in, we're training them, we're conditioning them for you. And then the cool thing is that from there, they're actually getting the results, because as the brain starts to think in different ways, Lynn will tell you that the menopausal fat cell begins to react to how the brain is functioning and how the brain is thinking. This is why so many 40-plus women have a hard time losing weight. It's not the diet, it's not the exercise, it's the head. It's the head that's preventing it. So just imagine, right? Imagine that we're training them for you. We get their head right, we get their hormones right, and then you just do what you're good at, and you're earning money as you do that. Are you getting it? Are you guys excited? It's just the coolest thing ever. So as a bonus to that, we wanted to give you some extra value. Now you can see here we have a complete online training system ready for you guys to go. There's over 80 lessons in there where we teach you a whole bunch of cool stuff. But we wanted to give you some really cool skills that's not just specifically for online, but we wanted to give you the skills to increase your sales with the one-to-one stuff with your customers that are coming in right now. In fact, even your existing clients. Like, wouldn't it be cool if you knew top-notch sales so that you could convert your existing customers and continue to enroll them into more programs? So we're going to give you our 8-week sales mastery program as well as that. Now that's normally valued at $1,253. It's also with the Menofitness trainer program, which is just over $5,000. I'm going to give this to you. And the cool thing is with the 8-week sales mastery program, we're going to give you an introduction into NLP. If you've never heard of NLP, Google it. It is the science of the mind. It's what we use in high-class selling. Advanced sales scripts. We're going to give you some pre-recorded sales presentations to show you exactly how to do this. Teach you how to recruit on social media, just as you thumb through your friends properly. Teach you the art of sales. I call it guided discovery selling. And imagine this. Imagine when your customer comes to you and says, this is what I want, can you help me? As opposed to you trying to tell your customer what they need. It's a complete shift 180 in sales. We teach you about the buying line, when to ask for the sale, when not to. We teach you about emotion and logic. But the cool thing is this is where sales goes to the next level, is that the number one secret in selling is getting your customer to link up what they can give others in their world as a result of your service. It's called the contribution secret. When people realize what they can give to others because of your service, that's when your value goes through the roof. It's the number one secret in sales that almost nobody knows about. And we're going to teach you that as part of your package. Cool, hey? So the cool thing is that by doing that, you're going to be able to sell more customers. Your conversion rates are going to get higher. You're going to be able to increase your retention rates. I'm going to try not to sneeze here. You can put your hourly rate up. When you know how to sell, your value goes up because you can communicate. You can get into the minds of your customers, and they'll see more of a value in what you do. We've seen people go from $50 an hour to $100 in a moment because they felt more confident in communicating their skills. You become a better motivator. Be able to quickly come up with new products, new ideas, and upsell with ease. But the cool thing is you're going to be able to get rid of unmotivated clients. Like, can you imagine that? No more like, oh, I can't be bothered. You're going to learn how to communicate with them. That's what sales is all about, is communication. No more boring checklists like, how much weight did you want to lose? What's your diet? We're going to give you some checklists which are going to ignite your customers. They're going to go, wow, I can't believe you're asking me these questions. No more week-to-week living, and no more no-shows. No-shows. Your customers aren't going to not show up because you're going to have them so accountable and inspired, they're going to be showing up for sure. Isn't that awesome? So these skills, I mean, alone, if you were to go and apply it, it's taken me 20 years to get to this level. If you were going to go and apply it, you'd be at least 5 years and over 100 grand in trainings just to get to that level, to be able to sell to the level we're going to teach you. And we're going to include this in what we're sharing with you. So who is it for? It's for trainers, naturopaths, health professionals, The sales skills are for network marketers. If you've got network marketing in your business, you're going to love it. Gym owners. If you're a parent and you want more influence with your kids, this is the program for you. Basically, anybody who deals with people is where this is going to come in really helpful for you. It's insane, right? Totally, totally cool. So just in case you're thinking, I don't know what to sell just yet, don't worry. We've already given you the lead magnet. We're going to show you how to convert this into leads and then ultimately turn those leads into sales, right? It's going to be nuts, absolutely insane. So we're thinking like, what else could you possibly need? What else is going to come into this? How do you make this work? We want this to be a total no-brainer for you. Well, how about on top of all this stuff, we actually give you your very own sales funnel, right? Like your very own sales funnel, like done for you. What if you didn't have to do this yourself? What if it was already built for you? You just had to send customers there and it was already done. So we're going to do that for you, right? Your very own done for you funnel. So not only are you going to get the 1-year affiliate account, we're going to give you the 8-week sales mastery program plus the done for you sales funnel. Well, that's usually $3,500. In fact, today I quoted someone $3,500 to build them a sales funnel. And that's on the cheap side. That's the cheap side. Like that's just the funnel for itself, right? So we're going to give you this. We want to make sure that you're successful because it's your success which becomes our success. So what does the funnel look like? It's simple. We showed you already. We're going to give you this exact landing page. You can even put your own photo where Lynn's photo is. It's so simple. You're going to get the thank you pages. You're going to get the emails that go out automatically. We've already done all the writing, all the copying. You're going to have links to free books. You get to keep what you like. You can change what you don't in there. But it's already written and it's already done. Like, isn't that oh my God, it's insane. This was another one of those ones I had to convince Lynn to keep in the program, right? So we're going to give you your own funnel. It's an actual copy of our one, exactly the same. You just simply one click and it gets uploaded for you. So in order to do that, we send you a free 14-day trial to a platform called ClickFunnels is what we use. And bang, you're away to go. Now, if you've already got a website, that's totally cool. You can just simply copy and paste it and put it into your own website. But you're away, you're ready to go. Isn't that amazing? So we were kind of thinking, okay, that's cool, but we wanted to make sure that you really hit the ground running. Like you've got the lead magnet, you've got the affiliate center. We're going to train your customers for you. Now you've got your own sales funnel. Like it's all going to kind of come in there. So we thought, well, we probably should teach you guys how to run a Facebook ad properly, right? So we're going to give you not just the affiliate account, not just the 8-week sales mastery program, not just the done for you sales funnel, but we're going to teach you how to do Facebook on live trainings. Like you're all going to be on the call and we're going to answer your questions one at a time, one by one, and give you support until your Facebook campaign is successful, like absolutely successful. That's our commitment to you guys. And that's normally $447. So like that's like totally over like 10 grand worth of stuff for you right there. And the Facebook stuff starts with how to do a campaign. Then we show you how to target specifically like we did on the presentation, right? How to get the right audience. Where are they? Doesn't matter if you're in England, the States, Ethiopia, doesn't matter where you are. We're global right now. We have a global system that you can tap people into. They can join, we train them, and away you go. We're going to teach you how to do that. We're also going to show you how to do the ads. And just like with the sales funnels, we're going to teach you not to reinvent the wheel, but how to reverse engineer what the world's best are doing. Look at this, Thomas DeLua. He's got ads everywhere. Ty Lopez, Russell Brunson, Anthony Robbins, they've all got ads. We're going to teach you how to write really well-performing ads so that you can get your ad up straight away. You've got your lead magnet, you've got your sales funnel, people start coming through. We're going to teach you how to sell as well. And then all you do is just point and shoot and send them to us. We're going to train them, send them back to you. You get all the money up front. It's nuts. Like it's totally nuts. You can see why it's going crazy, right? So just to recap for you, like that's the whole 1-year affiliate account, which is just over 5,000. The 8-week sales mastery program is 1,200. The done for you sales funnel, the Facebook hacks, total value of just over 10,231, right? So let me ask you this. If all this did was give you the ability to just tap into, I mean, I can't even count that zeros. That's 5 zeros with 1 on the end of it, of the 1 billion menopausal women, that would give you 1,000 new clients. Wouldn't it be worth it if all it did was just give you that like little fraction? Or if all this did was give you the world's best sales training so that you could profitably help more people in your existing business, Wouldn't it be worth it? Like if you could double your hourly rate, and I know you're thinking, what, double? I'm telling you, in a heartbeat, when you know how to communicate, game changer. And what about if all this did was just help you to share your message with just more people? Wouldn't that be worth it? Like if you could build your own brand online just by copying what we're doing. Imagine having your own brand. Like your own brand, like the amount of money that we've spent in creating a brand is through the roof. Wouldn't it be worth it if it just did that? So we had two choices, right? We had two choices. Option number one was we could go as cheap as possible and try and sell as many as possible. But the thing is that just wouldn't encourage us to give you a lot of value. The second option was a little bit of a higher investment, but in exchange, we can devote more resources to guarantee your success. So that's what we thought we'd do. We thought about, well, if you can get you guys 100 affiliate customers, even in a year, like we're getting 100 a week, but if we've got you 100 in a year, that's like 9,700 upfront affiliate commissions, right? Never mind the training on the back end, any upsells that you put into it. What's 9,700 worth to you? Or imagine what's like 100 customers a week worth to you when you've got this system working right. So I know you guys can see why it's a good deal, right? That's why that just the affiliate center alone is a good deal at just over $5,000. However, we're going to get you guys started for just $197 per month. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that just insane? So $197 a month gets you access to all of that stuff, up and running straight away, no contracts, no lock-ins, nothing like that. You jump in, we get you set up, we get you started, we work with you, we make sure that you guys become successful. And it's our mission to get you guys earning money as quickly as possible and then beginning to build your brand and tapping into that, oh my God, absolutely enormous business. So $197 a month is what your investment is. And all you need to do to click on that one is just click on this little link up here. You can see it up there. It's got that menofitnesstrainer.com/business -center. You should just be able to click on that little link there and that'll take you straight into it. And away you go. So to give you a bit of perspective, your average sales funnel is around about $10,000. A high-end sales guru is, if you wanted to work with a high-end sales guru, then that would be about $100,000 a year. Lynn is posting the link in the chat box there just in case the screen doesn't work. It should work though. A Facebook agency, the top-end ones are $5,000 a month. The trial and error time, seriously, is between 3 and 5 years. And we know that the $197 a month, the small end is what a gym charges you per week, and they don't give you anything like this. You got to kind of get your own clients. So we want to give you some perspective here so that you can really see how this whole system is going to be working for you. So like we said, it's just $197 a month to get you all started. Now, the first option you have, what we see is you kind of got two choices here. The first one is you do nothing, and then you spend the rest of your career kind of scrounging around looking for the clients that aren't even looking for you, where you kind of work yourself into the ground with your own job, right? Or you kind of take years to figure out how to do this on your own. Second option was to make a little tiny investment, take a leap of faith, and start using this system that's already been proven to expand your business online and step out of that 95% category of what most trainers are doing, right? So again, it's like $197 a month, but we want to make it absolutely no risk for you. So we've given you a 14-day free trial. So what that means is that once you jump over to that little link right there and you register, that you go into the system, you can see all the training. We're going to connect with you, spend some time, get you trained up, get you ready to go. And then if after 13 days or 14 days or 13 days, 0.99 hours, you go, you know what, I can't see this is going to work, then absolutely zero risk. You just let us know. We will cancel the whole thing for you. Because you know what? We don't think that we deserve your money unless we can actually make you money. And I can promise you that within the first 14 days, depending on your time schedules, you will start attracting customers straight away, and you'll be starting to plug them into our system, and you'll be shooting off and ready to go. So that's like a complete no-brainer, right? Insane. So the real question, guys, is how much longer do you want to keep fighting for the same clients, the same customers that are out there that just aren't coming to the gym, right? So it's like this is that next level, right? It's the question is if you if you're wanting to grow, how else can you possibly do it, right? So we know for a fact that your customers, the biggest market on the planet's not coming. There's nearly 1 billion of them worldwide. Absolutely 1 billion of them worldwide. I can see the questions lighting up. We'll answer the questions in a second, or we'll get to a couple at the end and we'll do some questions for you. But it's a massive market. It is huge market. It's totally untapped. And here's the system for you guys to jump in and get it done, right? So that's the system. Now, we wanted to make it really special for you guys, for those of you that act right now, and that is that we're going to give you not just everything we've already gone through, not just the affiliate center, not just the 8-week sales mastery course, the done for you funnel, the Facebook hacks, but for those of you that act right now, we're going to give you our online marketing program. Now, that's a series of 12 recordings that's going to take you all the way through how to create your dream customer. We take you through everything you could possibly imagine that you would need to know when it comes to online marketing. The whole thing. We've just finished a program with this, and we have got customers which are generating business straight off the bat, becoming experts really quickly in every particular area. So we teach you about the target market. We show you how to narrow down and find your absolute special niche. Now, the cool thing about this is that once you've got this sussed, not only can you become amazing at what we're doing, but just imagine how many niches you can go and carve out for yourself over and beyond that. Like it's limitless. You think menopause is a niche. What if you carved out a niche of menopause women with children, or menopause women that are single? Like, there's so many different niches that you can carve out, and this Online Marketing Pro helps you to work out the essence of creating out your own brand, and you can do it as often as you want. And that's for you guys that get started with us tonight. Now, that's normally valued at $997, but we're going to give it to you tonight for free. It's included in the membership area, where you can jump in there and do the whole thing for you. So like we said, it's just $197 a month. You've got 14 days free trial to jump in there and get it done. And just click on the little link there on the screen, or it is in the chat box. You can jump in there and just go register straight away. And we're going to add you to a little closed and secret Facebook group. We have a getting started meeting for you all, and you get to shoot off straight away. So I'm just going to click this little button here. You can see this little countdown clock there, which goes for 30 minutes. So I'm going to stick around and answer questions for you all as they kind of come through. And for those of you that want to grab that extra bonus, the Online Marketing Pro, that's available for you only in the next 30 minutes. And like I said, you jump in there, you register, you've got access to the full membership area straight off the bat. You can see the whole thing, and you can get started tonight. And you'll be able to download your lead magnet from there, and you're away, and we will be connecting with you tomorrow and getting you started in an amazing way. So I'm going to start to ask I don't need to ask any questions. I'm going to start to answer some questions that we've got coming through here. Some of them are coming through offline as well. So Belinda is asking, how long before you get money back in the bank? It's a great question. Yeah, yes, Belinda, it is Australian dollars as well. So, so the second that a client comes through and goes through the system, it takes 7 days to pop out the other side. So it's only 7 days before that money comes out and gets back into actually goes through PayPal. So that's how the money comes out, very quick. Only 7 days for that one there. Obviously, it depends on when you put the first customer in, but most people are up and running within a day or two. So I hope that answers your question and doesn't take long at all. So yep, like we said, it's Australian dollars. Yep. Cool. Awesome. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. So yeah. So the other thing too is how do we support you guys? Really easy. So we do a lot of live Facebook feeds in a secret group, which we use to communicate. So in the membership area, not only do you have the things like Sales Mastery, the Online Marketing Pro, we teach you the entire system of how this works. But the other cool thing that's in the membership area is you have access to all the training videos of each day of the 30-day menopause mindset diet. So things like the reticular activating system, taking personal responsibility, 5-year plans, all those kind of things. You get access to all those training materials, which is specifically for the coaches, which of course is Lynn in this case. And also too, in the background there, we have, you'll see how the whole sales system was written. What you're going to love about it the most is that, especially on day 8, now on day 8, the clients fill out a health assessment. Now, we've written a health assessment specifically to get them to talk about what's most important to them. So just think about this for a second, okay? So you've sent a client to us. We spend 7 days with them, just conditioning them about taking responsibility, getting clear on what's most important. Then we hit them up and say, it's time to set some goals. And then on day 8, we take them through the process, which is health, right? We talk to them about health specifically, and we say on day 8, send your health assessment in, and your trainer is going to contact you for a health assessment. Now, the way that this was written was specifically designed for you to be able to sit down. You're going to know your client very well because you're following along from the whole thing anyway. And then your client says, look, I need to lose weight. This is what I'm eating because that's on the form. This is the diet I've got. This is how much coffee I'm drinking. This is how much beer or wine I'm drinking. These are the chins I want to lose. But this is what's most important to me now and in the future. So it's a very highly emotional sales questionnaire. And then we have had such a huge success rate just simply upselling into nutritional supplements. So if you're in MLM, this is the opportunity to promote your products. We've had people in Modere, Isogenics, Juice Plus, all have obviously great solutions. You're the trainer, it's your client. You can upsell whatever you want. If you don't have MLM, then you can obviously upsell into more coaching sessions or whatever it is that you're wanting to do, or you maybe have powders or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter. So that's part of the day 8 process, right? It makes sense. So you're going to get access and see how all that stuff works. So I know this is exciting. Make sure you jump over there now and register, because you're going to be able to go through all that stuff and you're going to be able to see it for yourself as you go through. And you can start the training literally tonight. Seriously, you start training tonight. You can download the lead magnet. Belinda's asking, how do you qualify us as referees? Referees, by referees, do you mean trainers? What do you mean by referees, Belinda? I'm not sure on that wording.
Trainers.
Yeah, really simple. So because we teach you how to put the free ebook out there into social media, they kind of come through you first. So they sort of come through Belinda, if that makes sense. And then as one of our trainers, you have what's called an affiliate link. It's a piece of cake. It's just basically like a website link. And if you're speaking to one of your clients actually in your gym, so let's say, for example, you've got, 5 ladies in your gym right now, which you think would be perfect for the menopause mindset diet, you can sit down with them just right now, tomorrow, or depending on where you are, and you can have a chat with them. You can use the scripts we've got in the back there, and then you can say, I'm going to recommend that you do the menopause mindset diet. And they're going to go, that sounds great. And you say it's $97. And then you just pull up your laptop with the link, you put their details in, and then it registers straight away that that's come from you. And then we just pay the money back to you when it's after 7 days. And then the other thing too is, if you've got, say, friends or family, or, obviously, say you started to target people in England or a different part of the planet because you just wanted to, you can send your customers that same link. They can register remotely anywhere on the planet, but that link has got your unique little number in it. So when they register, it doesn't matter where they register or what time, 24 hours a day, we still get notified that it's come from you, and then we pay you just as if you were there personally. Isn't that cool? So that's how we know that it's you. So did that answer your question, Belinda? Is that what you were asking? I guess, yeah, awesome. Yeah, so it's really, really simple. So once you go through, even registering tonight, so you jump on that little link that's on the page here, you register, you go through the program, and then it will ask you to make a login, like a login account with a password. You go straight into the members area, and from there you can see all the different bits and pieces. And then from there, there's a little tab at the top that says affiliates, and that'll get you to fill out just your details as an affiliate. and go through there. And of course, any questions, we've got a little Facebook page which we jump into, and we're going to get you guys all up and running and started properly with startup calls, welcome calls, all those kind of things to welcome you into the family, because that's what we are. Yeah. So Belinda's saying, I guess the only cost extra to the 197 is Facebook. Yeah, you got it. Well, it's up to you, Belinda. It really is. You can do as little or as much as you want. Here's the challenge that we found is that the system that we're letting you guys use is so successful, we had to limit it. We had to limit it because we couldn't deal with all the demand that came through, which is how this whole process came about and why you're here. So once you've registered with that little link, you get started. We'll do the Facebook training with you. But seriously, it's probably good just to test, maybe $10, $20 for a day for the first week. And you can do 5 if you want to. That's the minimum on Facebook. It really is just depending on how much you can handle and what you're prepared to do. Like the sky is, seriously, it's the limit. But you can go as big or small as you like. It's really up to you. So the numbers to think about. So obviously, one client is $97. It's a pretty good deal, right? 2 clients is 100 and what's that? 2 clients is almost 200. So 2 clients in a month is a break even. If you're doing 2 clients in a month, we need to talk. Yeah, I know, I get that, very cash poor. So I understand that. And seriously, if that's where you are at the moment, then this is the reason why you need to do this, because getting other customers outside of this requires ad spend, it requires time. This is the system that's proven. So we've got 14 days, the way I see this, Belinda, to get you started and to get you seeing success so that you can see that this is going to work. And it does, it totally works. We're giving you the system that we use personally between Lynn and myself to make sure that this stuff goes. So that's, I totally get where you're coming from. And hey, we've all been there. So the focus is to get you up and running and to getting you 5, 10, 15 clients a month very quickly. And then you can see that, right? Like once you're doing that, I mean, for so many trainers are living week to week because not only, the average personal trainer is around about $60 to $70 a session, but you guys spend so much time in the gym waiting for people to turn up. And the challenge when you're doing that as a trainer is it's what I call small business syndrome, right? Because while you're training, you're not looking for more customers. Does that make sense? And that's the biggest killer of most small businesses. And you guys have a small business, is that if you're training, you're not looking for customers. You've got no one coming in. And then so the thing is, you go, okay, I've got no one to train. I better go find some customers. And while you're looking for customers, you're not earning anything because you're not training. And it's the biggest reason, it's the number one reason why trainers get stuck on this circle and end up doing damage to their body, and they kind of get worn out and burnt out, and all of a sudden what started off as a love turns into a hate. And most trainers, like seriously, I don't know about where you are, Belinda, but here in Australia, the government pumped so many people through personal training programs. So many trainers come out through trainers school. We've got more trainers here in Australia than you can poke a stick at. Yet we've still got a higher rising obesity rate, and most trainers end up going back to get a job they don't like because they weren't taught business. They don't have a system to bring in business to create that business sense, right? So if you think about the gyms that you work for, how much money they invested to bring clients in, you can see the scale here from millions to, essentially $50 a week or something like that. So it really is a no-brainer, but that's what's got to happen to make this thing work for you guys. So jump on if you haven't already. I can see that some of you already are. Jump on, register, because we are going to do getting started pretty much straight away and get you guys focused and understanding and successful. Because it seriously, guys, it has to work for you guys for it to work to us. And we know that it works, and that's why we put this whole process together for you. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. So remember, it is an entire system for you. I know it's so much to take in right now. That's why we're giving you the 14 days, but you do have the 1-year affiliate account. You do get sales mastery. I can't even describe to you the level of skill that's required in sales to do great work. Like it's 95% listening. Sorry, let me rephrase that. 90% listening, 5% asking amazing questions, and then 5% is focused on the solution. And most people just talk. You think, oh, I'm going to be a good salesperson, I've got to talk. It's the other way around. It's not that way at all. It's all about listening, asking great questions. And in the Sales Mastery Program, we teach you the questions, we give you NLP, and we show you how it's done. And you're going to love the fact that we actually have, we've got videotaped role plays of customers. One was a real customer. I asked permission, and it was for day 8. It's going to be so cool. You're going to love it, because when we do it, it's a day 8 health assessment. She sent through the health form, and we're in there talking, and within sort of 5 or 6 minutes, tears start coming out, and she's really emotional, and she's crying. You know, most trainers, if you got that, you wouldn't know what to do. You'd be like, oh my gosh, oh, it's okay. No, Lynn, I can't hear you. Sorry, let me just turn my speaker on. It turned itself off because it wasn't being used. So you're going to see in there that the real art of communicating with your customers is really about, oops, hang on, I've got the music firing. One sec. Crazy. Hang on a sec, we'll be right there. My iTunes is really crazy. Bit of music as we get towards the end of the evening, as you guys all race off and become our new trainers. One second, let's quit iTunes. There we go, good on you. Cool. Yep, so Lynn, I can hear you now.
Oh, that's okay. Look, what I was just going to say is that our next program starts on the 1st of October. So the brilliance about it is that the trainers can jump on board for 14 days and try it out themselves. So that's the amazing part. So you can actually go through the whole 14 days or the whole 30 days. Most of the trainers that have come on board have gone through the whole 30 days themselves and have come out themselves thinking differently about finances, business, health, and all those sorts of things. So it's a win-win for all, really. It's
oh, well said. Yeah, well said, Lynn. That's so true, and that is the case. It's you know, you guys as the trainers get the opportunity to go through the program, which is going to make it so much better for you. That's obviously included in what we're doing, and it'll change your mindset whether you're menopausal or not. It was always written for people in general. It's just we've made it as menopausal, so that's cool. Yeah, and congratulations, Belinda. Great to see that you're all in. I'm so excited to get to know you, work with you, as I'm sure Lynn is.
Yeah, well, look, absolutely. I was just going to type, but I can actually talk now. Now you can hear me. I was almost about to go, hey, Paul.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's all right. You held the floor really good.
Yeah, it's not talking.
Yeah, no, look, absolutely excited for you, Belinda. You know, and for you to go through the program yourself and get to know your own limiting beliefs and you know, things like that around finances, around business, around what's actually holding you back and creating the financial freedom that you want. Yeah, you'll be blown away. Absolutely. So
yeah, totally.
And we start that on the 1st on Sunday. So the next intake is on Sunday. So we've got quite a few ladies going through that one. A really great.
I lost you a bit there.
So,
awesome.
so, yeah, I'm pretty excited. So, yeah, look, fire away with the questions. As I said, you've got 14 days to trial it. If after 14 days, you know, you don't think it's for you, hey, that's all good. You know, no harm done. But, yeah, no, it's pretty exciting. And the thing is, for me, the most rewarding is seeing the transformation of these ladies. Like, this is the biggest thing, because a lady that went through it last month, let me just tell you a short story, because it's really quite transformational. For the first 4 or 5 days, she wouldn't even go on camera. Okay, she used to text me every day and say, "Oh, I can't do it," and it's usually in the things that we fear the most that we get the most learnings. But this lady I said, look, just go on camera and just say anything, just say your name, and she got on there and she was hiding behind the couch to do this. She was hiding behind the couch like a little mouse, and she had the phone, and she was talking so quietly that I had my volume turned up and I had my speaker to my ear trying to hear what she said. And you know what? She persevered through that whole 30 days, and at the end of it, I got this message to say, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lynn. It was absolutely amazing. She said, I now have my purpose. I now have a lot to work on. She says, I can't give you a testimonial because I haven't got that far yet as far as confidence, but I am just so happy that I went through this program. Now, the end of her last, if I, could, possibly use those her videos, but you can't. But her last video, she was sitting on the couch, her shoulders were back, she was talking really quite loud, and she understood everything. And her videos were amazing from the time she started to the end. And that for me brought tears to my eyes. So
yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's
totally cool. And the thing, we've had ladies come through that part of their menopausal stuff was huge anxiety. We actually had one lady that was very similar to what Lynn said. She wouldn't actually make a video. It took 3 days of coaxing, just to give you the level of commitment that we give to your clients. It took three days of coaxing to get her to come on, and the only way we got her to come on was say, blow a raspberry on camera or tell us to bugger off. Just say something to get it done. And she did. She got on, and by day 3 she was all cool. So that's awesome. Belinda, so it says you credit card details in. That's great. Then it asks you to create an account.
Yeah, that's right. It will ask to create an account after you put your details in, and then create an account, and then you'll go into the business center, and then yeah. Is that what it's asking? Credit card?
No, it says your credit card details again. It shouldn't be doing that, but it won't charge you twice because it recognises you as just the same customer.
No,
so it doesn't. Yeah, no, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's a bit unusual. We haven't had that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just used that link today, and it was working fine.
Yeah, so stick around, Belinda, and I'll jump on with you when the webinar's finished, and we'll have a look to make sure. But it shouldn't be doing that. So it maybe your computer's going a bit kooky or something crazy. Yeah. So yeah, no, that's cool. So yeah, look, so guys, so ladies, like I said, the sales training alone is going to knock your socks off. You're going to see how we do it. What was kind of cool was when we did the actual lesson. This is where you guys get the skills, because we had a particular customer, and she was in hysterics, and you wouldn't believe it, but the actual day 8 health session turned out to be about her sex life. I know this sounds weird. I couldn't have come up with a crazier version, but that's just what happened, and that's the sort of level that we teach our trainers to get to, because it's in that space there where you learn how to hold the space for your customers, especially when they're going through stuff. It's kind of like it's where your relationships get very deep with your customers, obviously the ones that are in person, but it's also too where your value goes high, because when your customer is opening up to you like that, and you've got the skills to hold the space and not freak out and try and run away, and then that's value goes up.
Yeah, that's very true, Paul. I mean, I the same, had a client that just would lose weight, put it back on again, lose weight, put it back on again, and couldn't figure out why. But going through the program and being able to learn those communication skills, I found out that she was abused sexually abused as a kid, and the reason why she was keeping herself fat was that so that no man would actually like her. So there was deep-seated issues there that really needed to be addressed. And there's no way that she would open up to a personal trainer about that. So I felt quite blessed that she had that trust in me to open up and be able to share that.
Yeah, absolutely right. And that's the thing. And again, I'm not speaking to anybody in particular, but I know with all the trainers that I've been to, and maybe you can relate, maybe it's not you, but maybe it's some of the trainers that you work with, is quite often is that when you're sitting down with somebody for the first sort of, the free session, the enrollment stuff, oh my God, most of the trainer I've ever been to does it so badly. Like there's such a huge opportunity there to get to know someone at an amazing level, to create a fantastic connection and client. I remember this one guy, he said, so how much weight did you want to lose? And I said, I don't know. I haven't even weighed myself. Like, I had no idea what I was doing there. I just wanted to get fit. And he said, okay, well, what percentage of body fat do you want to get down to? I was like, I don't know. There's a percentage. Like, there were all these tech questions, which I didn't even understand. And he said, so what are your goals? And I said, I don't know. I just want to look good. And I was being quite jovial about it. But see, the thing was that he was he was such a great guy. I'm not having a dig at him. He was such a nice guy, but he didn't ask any questions that were anywhere close to the real reason why I was going to the gym. If he had have done a great job, I would have told him that my girlfriend had broken up with me and I was trying to look muscly so I could get it back. And a great coach can get that out of people. And when you get to that level, I mean, you can imagine it, right? The training and the connection is so much tighter. So this is what we're taking, your clients on, and you guys actually get to watch them go through the journey. You can be in there and you can cheer them on and say, yeah, this is amazing. You're doing fantastic. We teach you what to say. And so when they come back, you've already got this amazing connection, and it's just going to help your business grow well and truly beyond just the 30-day program that we put your clients through. You've got no idea, or maybe you do have an idea. It really is, it really is insane. So that's going to be the main crux of what we're teaching you now. That with the Facebook hacks, the teaching you how to use Facebook, we're going to do that live with all of you that are coming through with us. You've got 8 minutes left to jump in there and get this done. And we're going to spend some time with you so you can actually ask questions live time, which is really important, right? You want to make sure that you're asking your questions. We'll go through it together, and you'll be able to build it as we go. And we can go through and let you know what you need to click, uncheck, so that at the end of the call, you've got it all sussed, you've got it all sorted, and you know exactly what to do, which is going to be huge for you. It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Totally cool.
Yeah, I totally agree. But getting back to what you said in the presentation, Paul, about women focusing on the problems. I mean, I see it and I hear it all the time. Women wake up in the morning telling themselves how crappy they feel. And I know that myself. I used to do that. So, they walk through their whole day going, oh, I feel so crappy. They walk past the shop window, and they look at themselves in the morning, in the window, and the reflection is like, oh my God, I look awful. I'm so fat. A lot of women don't even like seeing themselves in pictures or, posting photos of themselves because they don't actually like the way they look. So their thoughts, their whole thought process is just holding them back to start with. So what you focus on expands. So if you're focusing on the problem of how bad you are and how fat you are and how awful you feel and how sleeping is such a huge problem. In fact, I don't even sleep. And why bother going to bed, or why bother going to the gym because nothing works? Then what you focus on expands, and that's what they're focusing on, and they just get more and more and more and more of that, and they're just getting more stuck in the problem. So for us, what we do is we just break them free of that limited thinking, and really expand the boundary conditions of their thinking, really, and so that they're able to explore different avenues and really change around how they're thinking into something that's going to serve them better and for the rest of their life. Because let's face it, they've got the next 30-40 years ahead of them. So imagine going through life for the next 30-40 years like the 7 dwarfs of menopause: grumpy, itchy, bitchy, bloated, psycho, and sweaty. Doing that for the next 30-40 years. Well, they will, because they're focusing on that. And most of them,
totally right.
Most of them don't want it. They want something totally different. But their thinking is so stuck in the problem that they can't even see the solution because they're too focused on the problem. So, and they're attracting more of it. So yeah, that's what we do. We sort of, you know, the mind is like, we call it the mindset diet because of the fact that when we want to lose weight, what we do is open up the pantry, we take out all the junk food that's not serving us and, or, you know, or keeping us or making us fat, put in food that's going to serve us and feed us and make us well. Well, that's exactly what we do for the mind. We put it on a diet. Okay, so what we do is we open it up just like the pantry. We pull out all those limiting thoughts and the beliefs and self-sabotage and emotional eating and things like that. That's keeping these women stuck in you know where they are, and we put back in healthy thoughts that is going to serve them and for the rest of their life, no different from losing weight. In fact, this is the very first step to losing weight, feeling better and living the life that you really, really deserve.
Yeah, you got it. So for everybody on the call, if you've got any questions, now's a great time. We've got 4 minutes left to get an extra bonus. So just click on that little link, go through the system, and like Belinda says, this is just what she's been trying to create, what got stuck. So if you ever wanted to get online and learn how to carve out a niche, we've done it for you. We've got the system here for you, ready to go. All we need to do is train you up, get you started, and you guys are up and running, and getting the same results we are. Seriously, we're sharing the exact same system that we're running, and it's already done for you. So yeah, it's exciting times. It really, really is.
It is exciting, and like Tony Robbins says, 80% of success, and no matter what you do, 80% of success is psychology, 20% is mechanics. And as PTs, I mean, I'm an ex-PT, so as PTs, what we focus on is the mechanics, which is nutrition and exercise. But we forget about the psychology part of it. We're not trained to deal with the psychology part of it. So that kind of gets forgotten and it kind of gets left behind, and just hopefully that if we just focus on their nutrition and exercise, something will happen. Sometimes it does, you know, but for a lot of ladies it doesn't, because they aren't, you know, we aren't trained to teach them on how to fix their psychology. And this psychology is the difference between women that lose weight and keep it off and women that lose weight and don't. It's also the difference between women that actually get started and the women that don't. It's the difference between women that actually get started, lose weight, and the women that don't. So it's you know, it's the be-all and end-all of any type of success. So we have to work on their psychology as the first thing.
You got it. You got it. You got it. So a couple minutes to go. So we've still got a couple of you on the call, and some of you are jumping in, which is fantastic and really good to see. Really, really good to see. So as we kind of do the countdown, jump on that little link. We've got a question up, I think. One that I may or may not have seen already. Okay. Anne-Marie has registered. That's fantastic. So Anne-Marie, you've registered but not sure. So you've gone through and it's taken you to the membership page, I imagine.
Awesome, Anne-Marie. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's cool. Yep. Okay, cool. Well, I will jump off this in a second, and I'll actually jump on and have a look. And maybe for those of you that have joined, we can just jump straight onto a Zoom call, and we can do some screen sharing and share that with you. For those of you that have jumped in, so we just make sure that you've got it in, that everything's all up and running and good to go. So, and we'll have a look and see where you guys are up to. So that'll be easy to do. And yeah, it's awesome. Cool. 45 seconds to go. I just want to thank you all so much for sticking around and for watching. And for those of you that have jumped on, we are so grateful and so excited to help you all get started and get up and running. Like, I mean, you haven't really met us, maybe you know Lynn, but seriously, we get lit up when you guys succeed. Like, it is the best thing. We had one of our clients today. She's like, "Woo, got my first one!" So it's an amazing feeling for us, as much as it is, you know, for you guys when you come through. So we are super pumped and super excited to have you all here. So as we wind down, I'm going to say goodbye, as will Lynn. For those of you that have jumped on, we can connect somehow. There we go. There's the beeper. So yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. And so yeah, we'll just do a share for the girls. I don't know. Can we contact them off this call, Lynn?
I know Belinda's in the UK, so yeah. So not sure what if we can contact Belinda.
Are we friends on Facebook anywhere?
I think we are, aren't we, Belinda? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we are friends on Facebook. I'm not sure.
Okay, I just want to make sure, possibly. All right, cool. Well, hang on. I'm just going to copy your name, Belinda, on my little, what to call it. Hang on a sec.
Belinda, you did my Menofitness course, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you didn't. Okay. Okay, let me just type your name in.
I'll just jump off the screen sharing thing. So let me just do that. Do you want to push stop record, Lynn? Then we've got that thing done.